Olivia lived in Willow Creek, Oregon, a town with a population small enough to fit in a single high school auditorium. Everyone knew the Carson family. Her mother, Anna, was a school librarian. Her father, Daniel, worked at the local sawmill. They were quiet people, loving, kind. Olivia was their only child. That Sunday evening had been ordinary. Olivia had spent the afternoon doodling in her sketchbook under the old oak tree in their backyard. Her cousin Aaron, who was 2 years older, dropped by to return a DVD. They talked for a few minutes on the porch. Nothing unusual. Olivia waved goodbye, walked back inside, and told her mom she was in bed early. At 9:17 p.m., the lights in her room went out. At 6:42 the next morning, Anna knocked on her door to wake her for school. The door creaked open. The bed was empty. Olivia's backpack was missing. So was her jacket. But her phone was still on the charger. Her glasses, one she couldn't see clearly without, were on the nightstand. And the window, wide open. Before we go deeper, let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from right now? It's incredible to see this community growing across countries and time zones. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We tell true stories that deserve to be remembered. By noon that day, Olivia's face was everywhere. On telephone poles, shop windows, school bulletin boards. The community came out in force. Hundreds searched the surrounding woods. Boats scoured the river. Bloodhounds tracked her scent to the end of Willow Creek Lane, and then it vanished. It was like she'd been swallowed whole by the night. Police interviewed everyone, including Aaron. He told them he went straight home after dropping off the DVD, logged into an online game, and played until after midnight. Friends confirmed seeing him online. He was crossed off the list. But suspicion still crept in behind closed doors. Olivia's disappearance didn't make sense. She was close to her parents. She wasn't the type to run away. There was no note, no fight, no boyfriend, no secret life. For 3 weeks, the entire town held its breath, and then the trail went cold. Anna and Daniel never moved. They left Olivia's room exactly as it was. Bed made, books stacked, drawings taped the walls. Every birthday, every Christmas, they set a plate for her at the table. But the pain wore them down. Daniel started drinking. Anna started forgetting. They clung to the hope that maybe, just maybe, Olivia was alive somewhere. Kidnapped but surviving. Holding on. Nobody was ever found. No new evidence ever surfaced. Until the fall of 2023. This case is about to take a dark and unexpected turn. But before we continue, take a second to comment where you're watching from. We read every single one. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support helps us keep telling stories like Olivia's. A young forensic analyst named Erica Valdez was reviewing cold cases for the Oregon Bureau of Investigation when she stumbled across Olivia's file. Something in it felt off. Meticulous notes. A clean scene. But one item caught her attention. A tiny envelope containing biological material. Scrapings from under Olivia's fingernails. Back in 2004, DNA tech was limited. The sample wasn't viable. But in 2023, it was. They submitted the DNA to a genetic genealogy database, the same kind that had identified the Golden State Killer. The results came back 2 weeks later. It was a partial match to a man named Kyle Emerson, living in Idaho. Kyle had never heard of Olivia Carson, but when investigators interviewed him, he agreed to help. Kyle wasn't a match, but his DNA helped build a family tree that pointed them back to Willow Creek, and as someone whose name was already buried deep in the original case files. Aaron Carson, Olivia's cousin, the one who said goodbye on the porch, the one who claimed he was online by 8:30, the one whose DNA hadn't been tested until now. It had been 19 years since Aaron Carson sat in that dim police station, a teenager grieving for his missing cousin. Now he was 35, married, with a daughter of his own. He worked in an auto shop just outside of town. Still lived nearby. Still carried Olivia's photo in his wallet. When police knocked on his door in late October 2023, he didn't flinch. He invited them in, made coffee, even joked that they Must be working the cold cases now. Then they asked for a DNA sample. Aaron hesitated, but only for a moment. He agreed. A week later, the results came back. The sample under Olivia's fingernails was a 99.98% match to Aaron Carson. If this case has you holding your breath, you're not alone. These are the stories that stay with you. Before we get deeper, pause for a second. Drop a comment below with your city or country. We want to know where the Criminal True File family is tuning in from. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is your cue. When Aaron was brought in for questioning, he looked calm, almost relieved. "I've been waiting for this," he said quietly, eyes down. "I knew the day would come." But what he told investigators next wasn't what they expected. He didn't kill Olivia, he claimed. He helped cover up her disappearance to protect someone else, his own father, Mitchell Carson, Olivia's uncle, the man who'd stood beside Anna and Daniel during the searches, who'd spoken at the vigil, who cried when Olivia's birthday passed year after year. According to Aaron, his father had been off for years, controlling, angry, secretive. But Aaron never truly feared him until that night. Aaron said he got a call from his dad around 9:45 p.m. on April 11th, 2004. Mitchell was panicked, breathing hard. He told Aaron to come to the workshop behind their house immediately. No questions. When Aaron arrived, his father was standing beside a tarp. Inside was Olivia's body, lifeless, bruised, and pale. Aaron dropped to his knees and screamed. Mitchell, cold and firm, told his son that if he didn't help clean up, they'd both go to prison. He said Olivia had found a box in the garage. Old photos, videos, dark things. Things he never meant for anyone to see. She'd threatened to tell her mom, so he silenced her. Aaron said he didn't remember most of what happened next, only fragments. Digging a hole behind the workshop, wrapping Olivia in blankets, scrubbing the floor, and then a lie. He logged into the gaming server from his dad's house, using his own computer. He needed the digital footprint to appear online while the murder occurred. He even messaged friends, joked, pretended. At 11:45 p.m., he went home and acted like nothing had happened. For 19 years, he carried that night like a stone in his chest. He went to therapy, tried to forget, tried to rationalize. "I was just a kid," he'd tell himself. "I didn't kill her." But every time he saw his daughter draw in her sketchbook, he saw Olivia. It's hard to breathe through stories like these, but they matter. If this case is hitting home, let us know where you're watching from in the comments. The reach of this community reminds us that we're not alone in our curiosity or our compassion. And please, tap that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Based on Aaron's statement, police got a warrant to search Mitchell Carson's old property, now abandoned and set for foreclosure. On a rainy Tuesday morning in November 2023, cadaver dogs were brought in. Just beyond the tree line, near a collapsed shed, the dogs alerted. 6 hours later, beneath 2 feet of dirt, they found her, wrapped in the same flower print comforter from her bed, bones intact, necklace still around her neck, a tiny silver treble clef charm she wore every day. DNA confirmed it. The remains were Olivia Carson. The case was no longer cold. It was solved, but there would never be justice, not in the traditional sense. Mitchell Carson had died of pancreatic cancer in 2018. He never faced trial, never answered for what he did. When Anna and Daniel were told the truth, they didn't speak for a full hour. Daniel collapsed. Anna wept so violently she couldn't breathe. Her brother, her own flesh and blood, had taken her daughter, buried her, and stood by her side pretending to grieve. But what haunted her most was Aaron. She remembered him holding Olivia's hand at the vigil, sleeping on their couch, comforting her when she couldn't stop crying. He had known the whole time. He had let them suffer. Aaron was arrested and charged with obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and abuse of corpse. He pled guilty and received a 12-year sentence. In court, he cried as he read a letter to Anna and Daniel. "I was a coward. I was 16, I was scared, but that doesn't make it right. I think about her every day. And I'm sorry for the lie I let live." Anna didn't respond. Daniel never looked at him. If you're still with us, thank you. This case is one of the hardest we've ever covered. Drop a comment. Tell us where you're watching from, and if you've ever lived in a small town like Willow Creek. These stories live on when we remember them. And if you value this kind of storytelling, be sure to subscribe. 2 weeks after Olivia's remains were found, Anna went through her daughter's old sketchbooks for the first time in years. Near the back of one, she found something she'd never seen before, a charcoal drawing of Olivia and Aaron side by side under a tree, smiling. On the bottom, Olivia had written, "Sometimes, family is the safest place in the world, and sometimes it's the scariest." No one knows what prompted her to draw it, but now, looking at it again, Anna understood. Olivia had felt it. Somehow, she just didn't have time to escape it. Today, a memorial bench sits at the edge of the Willow Creek River Trail. It reads, "In memory of Olivia Carson, may the truth always find its way home. Thanks to one brave rookie investigator and the science of DNA, it finally did. This is a Criminal True File. If Olivia's story moved you, share it. These stories deserve to be heard. Comment below where you're watching from. Hit the like.